Greetings, friends, neighbors, and clients. Thought I'd try the video format for our housing market update, so let me know what you think. Well, watching headlines can certainly be scary, and especially in these uncertain economic times. And my job is to watch out for you, my clients, and the areas that I serve. So it's very important that I stay abreast with trends nationally, statewide, and at the local level. So is the sky falling? Opinions and predictions are all over the place. Top economists, the real estate giants, and very smart people share lots of theories, and they have stats to back them up. So it's very good to be aware. However, there's enough in this world to worry about. So I hope that if you happen to be in a location, home, or situation that you do have control over, that you desire some kind of change to improve your life, don't let the headlines stop you. You need to move forward with care, with knowledge, and a good guide by your side. And that's why I'm here. And I can get a little bit geeky sometimes with these charts. But maybe I can help to relieve some of the anxiety because I work hard to bring the knowledge and the value. I know the number one thing is there a bubble that's ready to burst? Prices are going up, up, up. There's impending predictions of recession. However, if you look at this chart, you see the last 6 times that we have experienced a recession. And even if you go back to the early 1900s, 1991, when the home prices dropped, but still less than 2%. And of course, it happened in 2008 with the home crisis, and the values declined by almost 20%. And that's the one that we remember. However, those were completely different fundamentals at that time. This depicts the volumes of loans with a credit score less than 620. So it was just a completely different era that created that housing crash. And, I think right now, current home buyers certainly feel the pinch of the higher lending standards. Of course, this is for everyone's protection. By the way, I know some great lenders, so just get in touch with me if you need to talk to some people, and I suggest you talk to several because you really want somebody that'll be part of the team if you're looking at a transition. Now, with higher prices, it's appreciation. Appreciation builds equity and long-term wealth. So the national average of those who bought a home back in that bubble about 15 years ago still gained an average of almost $210,000 in equity. So something to keep in mind. And there's an interactive chart on Realtor magazine, and I pulled up Columbia, South Carolina. And you can see the 5-year increments of equity expected to gain if you bought a home now in the first quarter of 2022. And the last bar shows what would happen in 30 years. But the 5, 10, and 15-year point of equity, you can see how wealth begins to build. So it's still a wonderful investment. Predictions for this year, 2022, by the giants, including Fannie Mae, that's the last bar that you see. The average is still a forecast of 9% appreciation for this year. And that remains good news for sellers and those wanting to use equity to their advantage. So one of the sayings is it's not timing the market, but it's time in the market. There could certainly be some spikes. There could be some dips between now and 10 years into the future. Everything continues to cycle, but real estate really remains a beautiful investment long term. Americans have selected real estate the best investment for the 9 past years. And then a few other perspectives for those considering to buy. Interest rates definitely make the headlines. But just realize that historically, the current rate is moderate. It's just not as advantageous as at the height of the pandemic. None of us have that crystal ball we wish we had. Many economists predict more of a sideways shift with the interest rates versus the skyrocketing that we saw for a short little bit of time. But if you're a renter and you're tired of paying those higher rents, you're paying your landlord's mortgage, 0% equity, or if you just simply want to upsize or downsize from the current home that you own, this chart kind of shows you how waiting could be costly. Generally, over the past 2 to 3 years, our Columbia Midlands has been reflective of national trends. And obvious buyer demands indicate that Columbia is a very desirable place to be. But in a rapidly changing market, it's very important to look at local stats also. So, like I said, I'm kind of geeky about this, and I track every week from the MLS. Now, this current chart here shows the last 6 weeks worth of the resale homes. This does not include new construction, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But the last 6 weeks, the green bar is what the active number of active listings right now. This is across the whole Columbia Midlands area MLS. And the blue is what is under contract, what's pending, and the red is closed in the last 60 days. Now, obviously, there's some homes that repeat each week in these various categories. But what is very clear is that inventory is our huge challenge within the market. And so many are already under contract. And so many homeowners, home buyers are looking. And to even further define it, this is just for the Columbia Northeast area. So they're in the Columbia Northeast, the 29223, 29229. And again, this is resales only. The inventory percentage-wise is even lower compared to the pending and the closed sales. All right, so speaking of new construction, the most recent headlines about declining home sales made me concerned about my research skills, but this chart from Mortgage News Daily helped me to visualize. And I want to say thank goodness for new construction. Many blame the pandemic for the decrease in the housing inventory, but actually that housing inventory goes back way beyond, well before the coronavirus came into being. So after the housing crash in 2008 period, new construction started declining. And because the needs have been met for that time. And it's just gotten behind with population growth and with the amount of movement that's been occurred. So new construction has done most of the heavy lifting in the early pandemic when existing homes could not be found. But what's real important to keep in mind is that there are 10 times as many existing homes in the resale homes as there are new homes. However, the new homes take a long time to build, and many of them are listed when they're not even out of the ground yet. So therefore, days on market stats and how many listings there are, it can be a little bit deceiving when you look at the whole picture. Now, with existing home inventory, if you look over these past 5 years, I mean, it's just continued to go down, down, down with a few spikes up here and there. And we have a little upturn right now. And of course, that's due to our spring, summer market, kind of seasonal. And of course, new construction has the many challenges of rising material cost and the rampant appreciation and all of the higher rates. So new construction does have many challenges. If you're interested in new construction, there's some great new developments and great new houses and lots of plans in the Columbia Midlands area. And I just want to stress to you that I can help you with new construction. You still need an agent on your side, not just the builders. So I'm very willing to meet with you and the builder, making sure that the entire process would be as smooth as possible. And so again, at the local level, with my new understanding of this impact of new construction, just this week, I've begun to track the new construction for the whole Midlands, which is right above my talking head here, and the Columbia Northeast over to the side. So the last three bars show the active listings and the pending listings and the closed listings in new construction. Obviously, they stay on the market longer. But you can see how even in the Northeast, the active new construction listings really surpass the existing homes that are on our market. And we can even get more local. If you go to my website, you can put in various zip codes. This is a screenshot on the neighborhood news, where you can look at more localized areas. This is for 29205, closer to town in Columbia. So that's another very good resource for you. You would need to just contact me for very specific neighborhood info, and I'll certainly provide a free study of the market value of your own home and the equity that you may be able to get from your home. I want to take a second just to warn you about maybe some cash offers that you've received in your physical mailbox or in your email. Just realize that these companies will quickly give you a price that could end up changing, and you may be surprised of those offers because of how much things have appreciated across the nation and in our area. But I want to let you know that through Coldwell Banker, I too can bring you a cash offer. The difference is with that cash offer comes a period of time that we can still put your house on the market and sell it for the highest price possible in the market. But if that still didn't work, you've got a backup of a cash offer. So if you needed quick cash to go purchase another home or you needed a quick move, that certainly could be a good problem solver for you. So just give me a chance to talk with you and do a study of your home, of your area, before you accept a quick cash offer. But the entire bottom line, just like we tend to view the economy in general, is what is important to you as an individual and to your family. There are certainly some signs of cooling in the market. Even though March 2020 to March of 2022 feels like whiplash, it took 2 years. So nothing turns on a dime, nothing's very quick. But we do see some signs of cooling, a little more inventory. More would be very helpful. The more we get towards a balanced market, the more even it is between the buyers and the sellers. Here are some helpful myths and realities that we have for buyers and sellers that could be helpful to you. So actually, the home market really looks very promising. Housing overheated for some understandable reasons. Cooling is welcome. More inventory is welcome. And we may see some prices start to slow down a little bit. But nothing's going to happen very quickly. There's so many opportunities for sellers and buyers. You just need the tools, and you need somebody to help you with that. I guarantee you that I'm a good listener. I work at your pace. You may be just contemplating whether you want to renovate. Would you get your money back on that? What kind of timeline would be possible for selling and buying so that you wouldn't have to move twice? Please call me. I'd love to connect and talk about one of my new loves, real estate. Thank you for watching. Feel free to pass this on to any friends, family, neighbors that you think may be interested. Thanks a lot.